Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reimagine 2021 version 8. We're back with another monthly conference, and this time we're focused on NFTs, the future value of these NFTs, and really the concept of ownership and what that means for the future. I'm Roshan Mirajkar, one of your hosts for this event, and I'm very excited today to bring you a new guest. I'm excited to be here today with Carolin Wend, who is the CEO at Mintbase. Carolin, thank you so much for joining us here today. Really excited. I think you have a lot of unique insights. Just to get started, can you tell everyone, how did you even get involved in the industry, or what was it that drew you in?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here with you today. How I got into the space. I used to work in the ticketing industry back in 2017 and in Germany, and I had like many customers that were festivals. So one of the festival founders, whose name is Alex, told me, Carolin, one day there will be no ticketing companies, there will be no banks anymore, because blockchain, this new technology, will replace all intermediaries. And I was really super shocked, but also super curious. So I looked into blockchain and Ethereum, and I just fell into the rabbit hole. Through that interest, I then got my next job in the German parliament as a blockchain researcher, where I wrote speeches and keynotes and papers on blockchain technology. And then in 2019, I met Nate, who is the programmer and CEO of Mintbase. And he told me about NFTs. I really could not grasp my head around, like, what is this NFT? And then also dove down the rabbit hole and looked for use cases. And then we started Mintbase, and since then we've been just building and exploring and pushing the boundaries of the NFT space, and really excited to see how it has blown up in the last few months. I still cannot believe that there's a hype around NFTs. It's really good to see.
Yeah, and NFTs are still in their infancy. So I would say that all of the work you guys are doing, or even how you're involved, is really at the earliest stages. So it's really exciting that you're sort of shaping the future of this industry. So before we do like a deeper dive, how have the past 5-6 months been for you and your team? And tell us, what exactly is Mintbase?
Yeah, so the last 5-6 months have been absolutely crazy. So let me first start like what we do and who we are. So Mintbase, we are an NFT platform. We are kind of like the Shopify for NFTs. People can come to Mintbase, they can create their own store, which is their own smart contract, and they can create and sell NFTs as art, tickets, VR, photos, anything that is digital, they can trade. And at the core of what we do, like our principle is to really decentralize everything. So even if we die tomorrow, we want the token to be there forever. So as long as every person has their own smart contract, we've done our job. And what the niche of every person, of every business is for them to figure it out. We are the underlying technology for people to build their marketplaces on top of Mintbase. And the last 6 months have been very crazy. We moved from Berlin to Lisbon. We drove down with a car the whole way, and we built up our dev shop here in beautiful sunny Portugal. So we are currently 7 people and building away every day. Just we are basically growing like fast, and got our seed investment back in November. So yeah, it's changing every day.
Yeah, sounds like an interesting team. One thing I found, just interesting in the space is not all these teams in the industry are really large. However, their impact is. So that's something I really find interesting about the technology. Tell us a little bit more about your seed raise and why you chose to build on the NEAR protocol. A lot of people maybe might not know what the NEAR protocol is, but tell us a little bit about why you made these decisions.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to how Mintbase started, our go-to-market in 2019 was ticketing, NFT ticketing. So our vision was to really show what those beautiful assets can do. So if you just look at one ticket, NFT ticket, it doesn't just like sit in your wallet like a art piece, like NFT that's a collectible, but it gives you much more. You can get into the conference, you can trade it on OpenSea, on other exchanges, and then you can also use the NFT ticket to vote on who is supposed to speak at the conference. So NFTs have not just one use case, but multiple cases. So we came from the ticketing kind of mindset, and last year it became very, very expensive to create NFTs on Ethereum, on the Ethereum blockchain. So our vision that this NFT is used, is like traded, is like used for micro transactions, kind of like was just put in the trash with a high Ethereum gas fees, because we believe in NFTs being used for everything that is digital. So not possible on Ethereum. So last year in August, we had to look at other options. So we looked at Matic, ZK rollups, other blockchains like Flow, Polkadot, and like everything that is out there. And we found that NEAR protocol is kind of the best option because of several reasons. So first of all, the smart contracts are written in the Rust programming language, which is really like a very popular and very good programming language. And also the NEAR blockchain is using a technology called sharding. So what is happening at the moment with Ethereum is that state bloat is kind of an issue, that the network, because there are so many transactions, it kind of like blows up and slows down the network, but also it gets more expensive to mint an NFT on Ethereum. And NEAR is solving this issue by like breaking up nodes into like different shards. So when you when the transaction volume gets too big, you just like have a little shard. So if I want to run a node, on NEAR protocol, I could do this on my phone in theory, because you can just have a little shard. So that's like those two reasons were really convincing to us, and also the team was very competent, and they have been really pushing and helping us out with everything. And NEAR is up until now the best option we find for NFTs. And another major bonus is that it's a climate neutral blockchain. So of course, like no technology is climate neutral, but they first of all are more energy efficient because of the proof of stake mechanism over proof of work that Ethereum uses, but then also they do carbon offsetting with a company called South Pole, which is really good. I find like this green NFT movement good. So there are several benefits with NEAR. And lastly, for creators, it's very affordable to mint NFTs, but also to trade NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys have really thought about the different pieces of implementation and are very careful at what technologies or what features you bring to the platform. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the minting tool, because one thing I wanted to ask you is, do you see your platform more as a marketplace? Or I know you guys have put a lot of emphasis on the minting tool. So tell us a little bit more about like, what is the importance? Why have you put so much effort on minting?
Yeah, so I mean, what you see right now on Mintbase.io is we haven't touched that site in like 8 months. Since we focused on building Mintbase on the NEAR protocol, we have not touched Ethereum. So our new website will look completely different. So it's near.mintbase.io, where you can check it out. And our focus was on minting because we found all the tools that were out there back when we started in 2019 very complicated. Like OpenSea also had a minting or has a minting tool, but it was just too difficult to use. There was no real like technology to make it easy and super simple for anyone to mint those digital assets. And our emphasis now on the NEAR protocol is also minting those assets, but we also have a focus on the marketplace. So not only minting, but also selling NFTs. So what we did is together with the NEAR protocol, we developed a new NFT standard, which is called NEP 171. And the difference between that and the standard on Ethereum is that, and that's really important difference, is that the royalties on the new NFT standard on NEAR are engraved in the token. So that means that wherever this NFT is sold, like on Mintbase or wherever on other platforms that are coming, along on the future, the royalties will always be there in the token. And right now on Ethereum, the problem is that when you when you put in your royalties as a creator on OpenSea, later on it gets sold on Rarible, on non-origin, the creator doesn't get royalties. So that's kind of a really big mistake from the ERC 721 on Ethereum. But we took those lessons from Ethereum and ported them over to NEAR and worked together very closely, not only with the NEAR protocol, but also with artists and creators. We had one artist in particular called Sparrow, and she really pushed us to make the standard right. She was really like a big impact in all of this. And so the new market on the new Mintbase on near.mintbase.io will have features that are not existent on other platforms. Like you can mint a token and you can set royalties between 10 different people. And you can also split revenues between 10 different people. So in total, you can split everything between 20 people. So what does it mean in practice? So just imagine you are like a festival, and festivals, when they are planning and organizing the next edition, they always face really high upfront costs. Like they have to pay artists and DJs and landlords. So what those festivals can do is they can say, okay, this DJ gets 5% of every ticket sold, this artist gets 2% of every ticket sold. So you will actually have stakeholders in your event, and those people will push the ticket sales because they will earn more the more gets sold, and it's all transparent on the blockchain. So we are actually, with our first launch, which is hopefully happening next week, we are also launching with a festival in Germany. And the guy who got me into blockchain originally, we are doing like a hybrid festival with NFTs, where exactly what I just talked about, like how do festivals finance themselves? Like he will put in different DJs and artists in the revenue split. So that's going to be really interesting. And our new marketplace will be all about purpose and utility. The more your token gets used, the more valuable it will become. And I'm really excited to see what different use cases will come up and what people are planning. It's going to be very interesting the next few months.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's really misunderstood in the NFT space is everyone just thinks it's digital art, and a lot of the new people coming in, I think that's what's attracted them. From your perspective, why do you think NFTs have gained so much of like mainstream adoption? And can you kind of explain the future utility of maybe some of the NFTs on your platform? Like, how do you think like reward points or loyalty points infrastructure will be in the future?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the NFT space has risen so parabolically is because of the pandemic. Like everyone was kind of trapped at home, and this trend has just been accelerated. Me personally, like I expected the NFT kind of breakthrough to happen in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years from now. But everyone was at home, and all the creators, like DJs, artists, musicians, they didn't have any, like everything just like, you know, was shut down. So people had to look for alternatives, and those people didn't have any opportunity to make money. But with NFTs, like selling this digital piece, like on the blockchain, like was kind of a very good alternative to make an alternative income. So I think that's one of the main reasons why NFTs have gained kind of this adoption. But also the trend of having an NFT that's just like digital art or collectible that sits in your wallet and gets sold for $70 million. There's no innovation happening. I mean, it's great. I love that the artists were the first ones to, you know, really like explore this technology and play around with NFTs and push the boundaries. Like artists have like really pushed this trend and helped NFTs to become kind of a, you know, a known technology. But the next iteration of NFTs will be about utility and about purpose. So we maybe touched, I don't know, 5% of what those digital assets can do, like the NFTs. But in the next few years, it will be about, okay, this NFT ticket gets me to a conference, but this NFT ticket is a song. It also lets me vote on who I want to see at the festival. And it will unlock content on websites and so much more. And to your point, reward points and loyalty points, yeah, NFTs will be your digital identity. Show me your NFTs and I tell you who you are. Like, do you have, I don't know, like, you know, NFTs of your favorite artist, your favorite DJ, and then basically you can, if you have those like NFTs, maybe in the future you can unlock different websites or you get a discount on some other sites. So it's basically infinite, the possibilities what NFTs can do, and it's really up to the value creator to decide what he wants to offer. But NFTs are definitely letting creators become closer to their fans and kind of like have a communication without a platform in between, because it's a peer-to-peer technology. Like a creator can directly sell something to their fans. And this is really, yeah, something that has never been like that before. Maybe before, like 300 years ago or something like that, value creators were really close to their customers and had like kind of a peer-to-peer relationship.
Yeah, and I love how you touched on all these points of like usage and kind of the social aspect of these NFTs. I totally agree with you that we shouldn't be keeping these NFTs or digital art just in our wallet and letting them just appreciate and waiting for it like normal art, because it's so much more. How do you think this will impact the future of intellectual property and with content creators as well, like the kind of the creator economy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now the creator economy is kind of yeah, it's broken somehow. Yeah, if I look at Spotify, and I have many friends in Berlin who are DJs, and they have 300,000 streams a month, and like over a whole year they earn maybe 4,000 euros, which is nothing. I mean, they have so many fans, they have so many people that listen to their music, and in the end they don't get anything. So where does the value go? And also there are some IP issues with I mean, I didn't know all these things because I'm not a musician, but my DJ friends told me that when they upload a song on Spotify, they cannot upload it somewhere else, like, I don't know, on SoundCloud or they kind of are stuck in the system, and they sign a contract with Spotify that won't let them publish their works on other channels. But now with NFTs, there's no such thing, and there are no rules right now. There's like no regulation, and it's all gonna be defined in the next few years. And it's scary, but at the same time, it's an opportunity to make things better. So how I see this IP space and intellectual property developing is that there's kind of swapped like on its head, where creators gain back control and can really see and dictate how they want to distribute their art and their creation. And I really hope that the majority of the value will be with the creator and not with the platforms. And that is why Mintbase, we push people, own your own smart contract, because you don't want to be dependent on a platform. Like even like don't be dependent on us, on Mintbase, because you should like do your own thing. Like it's your business, it's your NFTs are you know, your creations. And that's what we find really important, to not be dependent on any platform. And people should use Mintbase because they want to use us, not because they have to. And that's the beautiful thing about NFTs, is if you're unhappy and if you find another service, is you can just take your smart contract and, you know, and sell your NFT somewhere else. It doesn't matter. And that's really interesting to see at the moment how artists and DJs, they're not loyal to one platform on Ethereum. Like people are, I don't know, minting on Mintbase, but also on Rarible, but also on OpenSea, but also on Super Rare and on Origin. They're not like sticking to one platform. It's somehow like no one is loyal. Like the creators take that platform or like mint and sell on the platform where they have the most connection with. And that's how I hope to see the future, that it's not going to be one platform dictating everything, but lots of different microeconomies. And at the heart of it all, or at like the core of it all, it should be the artist and the creator gaining back control, because that's what has been taken from them.
Yeah, and I think you just highlighted the most important point, which is just owning your own digital ownership. Yeah, owning your actual smart contract, which is quite different than some of the digital art that we have in the traditional world. It's digitized, but you don't have that concept of ownership. So I'm curious to know, you know, since the time you've been working on the project, is it mostly retail users that are new to crypto, that have been interested in your platform, or is this also the concept of like mainstream people maybe coming to Mintbase first, because a lot of these other protocols, that first user experience is it's not very good. Like they see very high fees and so on. So which one has it been more of, like retail users or even maybe even corporations?
Yeah, so in the last year, so in 2020, mostly only crypto users, like artists who already were familiar with crypto and blockchain. But past few months, like more and more like normal people just requested information and asked to, like, you know, tokenize their NFTs on Mintbase, and asked like how to actually use our SDK, because we have an SDK where you don't need to use Mintbase interface, but you can build your own business on top of Mintbase. You have like all the functions like minting, split royalties, split revenues, selling, offering, like auctioning an item as well. So more and more like kind of like labels and like small to medium sized business owners in the creative space, ticketing, like festivals, really like really many people who also have no touch points with crypto or with blockchain. So, but mostly like from the creator space. Also big companies that wanted to experiment with NFTs, to just a single entrepreneur building his business. So it's really hard to say, but this hype has been incredible. Like so many incoming leads and people who just see value in NFTs, and they kind of find it interesting, but they don't know where to start. And this is exactly like where we are at right now. We are in this phase of experimentation. And I mean, we even don't know what NFTs are, because who the heck knows it? We all know it's big. We all know it's kind of the next iteration of the internet, but you know, we also don't know what it all entails. We just know it's big. We have this feeling. We see the opportunities. We see people making money and kind of marketing themselves and just, you know, selling their own creations to people.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, that's also a good point in the sense of this industry is not established yet. So it's really exciting. You know, all the work that you guys are doing is really to, one second. Let me redo this part.
Yeah.
No worries, we'll edit it out. Okay, sorry, what's the last thing you said? About
I think we talked about the creator economy, and that there are like people from all different kind of fields, like minting their NFTs and wanting to build their businesses on top of Mintbase.
Got it. Okay, let's start again. Yeah, I find that really interesting. There's a lot of, I guess, the use cases for the different, I would say, value holders is different. Like what a company or enterprise wants to use NFTs for versus the retail user is sort of different. And that makes sense too, because it's been kind of unbalanced for a long time in terms of who actually, you know, owns a lot of the value. What's interesting, you know, with Mintbase, a lot of the features that you guys are baking in, I've never seen other companies add these features. So talk to me a little bit more about, you know, either embedded value tokens or, you know, the self-destructing tokens. Like, what do you think are some interesting future use cases for these things?
Yeah, so it's all about collaboration and purpose. So if I look at the financial system at the moment, it's very siloed. You have like a few big companies, and for entrepreneurs, it's really hard to innovate on this current system. You have Stripe, you have like credit cards, and that's it. But now with split revenues and split royalties, you can work together with, I don't know, just imagine you have a movie, and there are many different people who are involved in the creation of the new movie. You have the artists, you have, you know, the cameraman and lots of other people involved in the creation of the movie. And you could sell the movie. And at the same time, when someone like buys the movie, the revenue will get split between the different parties, between the artists, between the cameraman and all those different people. So it's all transparent. It's all on the blockchain. It's directly when the item is purchased, the revenue gets split among those different parties. And this is not only relevant for, you know, like movies and like the movie industry, but also to the music industry, applicable to the art industry, to all kinds of industries, because we are not working just like one person on one thing, but like a lot of things we do in our daily like life and in our work is all about collaboration. And we can actually like work collaboratively like together on a project and earn revenues, and no one can lie anymore. That's the beauty about it. Like, I used to work in the ticketing industry, and everyone was lying, like, oh yeah, tickets almost sold out, grab the last ones, and you know, just a lot of lies. And now you can actually like check the blockchain, you know, and you see, no, you sold 10 tickets, you're definitely not sold out. And this is also beautiful because people cannot lie anymore. And especially nowadays, where there is a lot of yeah, a lot of, I don't want to say lies, but like irritating information out there. And with blockchain, it removes the trust from people because I don't want to trust people. I worked in politics in German parliament, and seriously, like it should all be transparent, and I don't want to trust some people. Like you should see every transaction and every like kind of vote on the blockchain. And NFTs are just a beautiful use case and just a beautiful demonstration of how our economic system can be and how it can make things better.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, to your point, that's why a lot of NFTs have gone mainstream. People kind of understanding the value of transparently seeing the actual bids between, different pieces of art in some cases. And yeah, people just love this idea of actually being able to own something. And I would say look at the entire transaction history. How do kind of switching over, how do you think NFTs can be used for the future of branding or marketing? Some people think that NFTs themselves are their own, like you could create your own country or your own nation, like it's representative of that. Do you sort of share those ideas?
I mean, that goes a little bit too far, I think. Like creating your country with NFTs, I don't know how this should look like. I mean, we are right at the beginning of this, of exploring what NFTs can do. But I do believe that NFTs are the future of our economic systems. Like at the core of it all, NFTs solve a very old problem or like a very old need that we have been doing for centuries and centuries and centuries. Like 2000 years ago, I exchanged like, my water against, I don't know, some tissue. So it's trade. It's like trade of assets. It's peer-to-peer. Like it's a very old kind of, thought behind it. It's making trade easier, and it's making trade very transparent, and it's making trade very easy to collaborate with other people on a certain project. So I do believe it's the new internet and the next evolution. I wouldn't say that NFTs will create new countries. I wouldn't go that far.
What are some of your ecosystem partners or other people in the space, in the NFT space that you guys closely collaborate with, or that you see as industry leaders also helping you guys with your goals?
Right now on Ethereum or on NEAR, or just in general?
Just in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we work together with many different projects. Like on Ethereum, we have an integration with OpenSea where you can, right after your token has been minted, you can see it on OpenSea and you can auction it off or sell it. And on NEAR, we are very close with other projects like the guilds. NEAR has some guilds. A guild is like a kind of a community on NEAR. Create-based Guild is a community of creators who are trying to push the boundaries of NFTs. Then we are working together with Paras, which is another like platform. They do digital trading cards. It's not like the NFT per se that we know, like with a standard, but they also do some really interesting things. So there are lots of interesting projects on Ethereum and on NEAR. And NFTs are special because they can be interoperable and be ported over to other platforms. So whatever NFT project is out there and on NEAR, we are super happy to work together with, as long as they have the same core principles of decentralization and having everything transparently on the blockchain.
Yeah, and what do you think are some of the future developments of NFTs themselves? Because I know you were talking about some token standards that you have developed, like some new token standards. Do you think that will continue to evolve, maybe from like a development perspective?
Yeah, I think like NFT standards are never like a static thing, but they are always like being tweaked and enhanced over time. And so the future will definitely hold NFTs that can be redeemed. Like, for example, I have a NFT shoe, for example, and then I can redeem the actual NFT, and then it triggers a purchase process that it will send me the actual physical shoe to my address. I will walk in crypto voxels or Decentraland, which are virtual worlds. I will walk around in a pizza shop and I see this delicious salami pizza, and then I just click it, and then in the background it will kind of trigger like a delivery process, so that it would deliver pizza to my place. So that is like kind of how we see NFTs. Like, they are gonna be used in VR, but also on websites where it's basically gonna be a check, like, are you connected to the blockchain? Yes. Are you the owner of this NFT? Yes. Do you want to redeem the NFT? Yes. So NFTs will replace our current password system. So we are not gonna need to log in to all these different platforms with our password, which is super annoying, by the way. But it's just like gonna check if you are connected to the blockchain, if you are the owner of the NFT, and if you are so, you will get access to a certain website or to specific content.
Yeah, I mean, it would be certainly helpful if I could use the NFT to remember my seed phrase or something like that. So kind of looking forward in the future, what do you think will be the next wave of interest for NFTs? Like, will it be in sync, like you said, with another industry? Like, do we need another industry outside of blockchain and crypto to kind of enhance this whole space? And my question really is, at what point do you think like digital ownership will either meet or surpass the physical assets in the real world that people have?
Yeah, so there are currently lots of different industries like trying to figure out how they can use NFTs. So we see more and more musicians and more labels trying to figure out and wrap their head around NFTs. So at the core of it all, NFTs can only find mass adoption if we can cheaply and efficiently send those things from A to B. So on Ethereum, unfortunately, it's just too expensive and the issue will never be solved. I mean, I don't know, maybe one day Ethereum 2.0 comes around the corner, maybe then, yes, it will be fine. But at the core of it all, it needs to be affordable and cheap for people to experiment with this technology. So that's why we chose NEO as well, because the transactions are very affordable. So it will only find adoption when it doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah, I love you and your team's kind of value driven decisions for the variety of different use cases and features that you really have on your platform. To kind of end things off, why don't you tell us, what can we expect at Mintbase in the coming months, and also give you opportunity to either shout out, how can people reach out to you and get involved in your project?
Definitely. So in the next few months, you will definitely see the next evolution of NFTs. So it's not only going to be about just storing my digital art piece in my wallet and hoping it will gain value, but you will see NFTs being traded, being sold, and in a collaboration with lots of different artists, and kind of like finding the purpose of those digital assets. So you will see real world usage. So we are building a festival where you can trade and mint those NFTs at the actual festival, but also in the virtual world. Those two worlds are connected. You will also see lots of different new use cases that I don't even know what's going to happen in the next few months. It's changing like really, really fast, but for sure you will see some very interesting projects. And feel free to go to near.mintbase.io, which is Mintbase on the Near blockchain. And if you want to reach out, come to our Telegram channel. It's Mintbase, or reach out on Twitter. There we call it Mintbase as well. And yeah, just drop us a line. We are like really easy to approach, and we are very happy to hear about other projects, and yeah, just reach out anytime.
Yeah, Carolin, thank you so much for being here today. Love a lot of the ideas that you talked about, and really your background is super interesting, coming from a lot of these event and ticketing spaces, and I'm so happy that you're gonna get to solve a lot of those problems. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much too.
And for those of you, and for those of you that are still sticking around, we're bringing you more exclusive interviews and deep dives into the space as we're exploring the future of creator economies and really digital ownership. Thank you, everyone, and tune back in to Reimagine 2021 version 8.